in the
No,
class section is what you would put for how to make it roll a dice in the
no
output
worries.
section.
I'm just letting you guys know that I was starting to stream up.
Start a stream check.
There we go. That's what I wanted.
Check. Czech Republic. Check.
Hey, we should be up and running now, Fuzz. Yeah, we're just the 5 p.m. is flexible. We're not always right on time. In fact, we're never right on time. But
Yeah, I was.
In fact,
was
time
playing
is an
with
abstract
slugs.
concept for us.
I was doing well. Okay, I was working on graphics for my movie event, and then I did my laundry, and I did a couple of coats of clear coat on some shelving I'm trying to finish installing real soon before I get a bunch of people in my house. Then so I was like, a window opened up. I couldn't do any more clear coating until that one layer dried, and I couldn't do any more of my laundry until the last load was done drying. So I was like, I've got a window. I'm gonna play a fucking video game for the first time all week.
I'm not even mad. I would have done the same thing. So. And the bot's got an update, so I'm gonna get that.
Trying to get to the sorcerer part of the book.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I realized this as I signed on earlier today. Our cantrips all get like a level up at level 11.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Level 11's a good level.
Yeah, at first I was like, we don't get any shit, and then I was like, oh wait, never mind. I looked at all the spells.
There we go.
Ooh, look at the fancy text.
Let's see, from last level.
Oh, god damn it.
Okay, I have gained some spells. Good.
You get no spells. Sorry.
Nope,
None
I
for you.
totally get spells.
You get nothing.
You get less spells than you had before.
That's right.
Gotta remember where in the book.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Oh yeah, I gotta roll for HP. I get HP, don't I?
You do. You should get another hit dice.
1 dice.
What is my hit die? I'm trying to remember.
I believe sorcerer's D8. I could be wrong on that though. That sounds right in my head.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Steve, you have loud rain.
You have very loud
Jesus.
rain.
Yeah, it's Chicago, you know.
It's just how we do.
Is he
Right.
playing at a park?
Steve
He's
just
hanging outside?
This
Steve's
is
like, fuck inside, yo.
I'm in Chicago. This is just how we do.
Yeah, I'm almost inside right now.
No
He's on the
worries.
highway in his car.
It's the highway to the danger
It's
zone.
Chicago.
I look really bad out there now.
What
I've
is,
got my Bluetooth on.
It's weird.
I've got my goggles.
There we go. Okay, cool. That was weird. It was giving me some funky black square earlier. Ignore that roll that just popped up on stream, you guys.
I'm gonna roll for additional HP.
Hey, go right ahead.
There you go.
4 more HP.
It's 4 more
Oh
than you
yeah,
had.
this is all the thing, you guys. I spent part of the time that we had brewing up some potions. So I'm gonna have you divide them evenly amongst yourselves. Everyone should get 5 greater cure wounds potions.
Man, that's really like thoughtful for the group. I spent my time completely selfishly. Like what Dr. V did in the downtime between the giving that to Baba Yaga and waiting for additional orders. I've basically been walking around the town disguising myself as various old women and children. Like, did you hear Dr. Vita saved the world again? That man's incredible. And just would turn a corner, turn into someone else, like, oh yeah.
So you were like that. You were like the scene from Aladdin. The genie just randomly appearing as old people, then as young little kids. They're during the whole
We
slide
should
sequence.
gallop in hordes. I'll find you back with swords. Come send them to their lord, did Prince
That's
Charlie.
Prince Ali.
That was a pretty good impression.
Right?
That was very good, Steve.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. It's just like not saying I did it single-handedly, but like Dr. Vitus and crew.
Yeah, right.
He mutters the and crew under his breath.
He would have done it by himself, but they had these tag-alongs that just wouldn't leave him alone.
No, if asked, if someone was like, "Well, who was helping him?" I'll totally drop names, but because he's not a liar and he's not ashamed, but he's out to get like he's wanting to make more of a heroic name for himself. So he's just walking around like, "Oh, look, time's fixed. Good thing Dr. V was on the case."
At Dr. Vitus's shop where he first got met with, where he had all his stuff, the stuff that he sells at that location, is some of it like alchemy supplies, like tubes and flasks and stuff to store potions and things in?
Dr. V doesn't do any like direct alchemy, but I would imagine that would be something, because basically anything he acquires on either pirate raids as the captain or on actual missions as himself, anything he can't use himself, he basically puts for sale in his magic shop.
Okay, so then
So I
a
could logically see magic, like the base magical, tools of the trade being for sale, flasks and blank scrolls and such.
Does he ever do the like Harry Potter wand shop thing where he's like, "This wand has chosen you, child"?
He does do that for like a lot of like young wide-eyed people, but it's all illusion and bullshit. He'll basically just try to be like, "The most expensive wand in the shop has chosen you."
I really like the idea that someone with like no magical talent at all is like, "I'm magic," because like Dr. V told me so.
Dr. V would sell him like just some basic dime store tricks, like hoops, like watch how the rings pass through each other, and
Yeah.
a box that you can stick a sword through. Like, tell everyone you're a wizard.
So a couple of weeks ago, Corvo would have gone to Vitus's shop and purchased a tube, or either a flask or a tube that was probably about, I'd say, maybe 2 feet long.
He's making a bong.
Basic shit I'm not charging you for. You can
Okay.
take it.
So
Keep your money.
that, and then from within a few days, if you've seen him, you would have seen him walking around with that tube tied to his waist with a stopper or cork thing on the top of it.
Okay. Are you taking care of your attunement thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I figured. All right. We have folks rolling in, and they're looking at the bullshit break screen. So I'm just gonna give a quick heads up. We actually start here in about 12 minutes or so, guys. What we're doing right now is we're just kind of bullshitting like we normally do, kind of like, hey, how was your week? And they're talking about what their characters did in their downtime between.
I fixed my shop. Also,
between their last adventure and what we're gonna do tonight.
I am gonna make Bree fix the door. Like, I'll pay for the materials, but she needs to do the heavy lifting.
Fair enough.
So I was like, I ain't lifting that. So what's our current XP level so I can adjust my my stats?
Whatever it takes to get you to 11th, since I don't actually ever
You should
actually.
be 85,001.
Yeah, since I don't ever actually give you XP, I just go, you're level 11. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that scheme.
I think it's 85,001 to be level 11. Maybe that's level 10.
It won't let me actually change my level.
Okay, you ready? You have to
Yep.
go onto your class tab and change the number in the class levels there. You can't change it on the other page. Only
Got
reflects
it.
it if you change the class level 1.
I'm kind of miffed that Ranger gets whirlwind attack and Fighter doesn't.
Like not ever.
Yeah, it's just not something you get. It's just an ability that the Ranger, one of the Ranger.
That's
things-
ridiculous.
I know. I'm mad.
I gotta remember what page my spells are on. I gotta look up some new spells.
Anna, I have some adjustments for the weapon and armor that you're getting. So I'm going to just PM them to you in Skype.
Okay. That's private.
So the ridiculous good news is I finally have my decent gaming rig back,
Nice.
and I
Nice.
have hooked up to my spare TV, so now I have the monitor that actually. I have a Nook desk, so it's like the 4-foot space by like 6-foot space that you hide everything inside so it doesn't get dust and shit on. Yeah, the monitor kind of fills that now. It's like, there's no room for anything else down here. Speakers, no. Barely can put a keyboard in front of it. The downside is, of course.
Was anybody else getting really bad reverb?
Not terribly.
Are you getting
I
it
have
from
good
laptop?
reverb.
I'm getting it from Goat really bad.
Weird. I'm not hearing any.
I'm not hearing it either.
Okay.
Do you hate Alaska?
That's it.
I'm
She's-
just a hater.
Racist.
Geographically biased. Is that what I heard?
Exactly.
Geographist?
A geographist.
Or would that be a geographist? That sounds
I think
like
geographist is a much better
a
word.
special attack. That's what you do when you punch people really hard. And tell
Robo
them-
Steve.
Beep boop.
Fuzz, if you want to enter this time around and you want to end up with something other than the PHP, I would say that you're more than welcome to, since we're gonna kind of being flexible about what the giveaway is going to be this evening.
Nope, I think he should be forced to get as many
Yeah, you get
player
another.
guides as he can possibly get.
Yes.
Fuck it, deal with it.
Get all the player guides ever.
The downside, of course, is to fix the new tower. I cannibalized cables and shit off of my old tower that I was using to play this on. So, like, I don't have the handbook or I don't have the player's handbook or anything handy right now because I have to bring the old tower back to life now to pull everything off of it.
Okay.
But I don't really need it because I've got everything in my character sheet that I need.
I'm hoping to get a graphics card upgrade for my rig real soon. Speaking of upgrades.
Fuzz is just going to end up with so many player's handbooks that he's going to end up like building a fort out of them in his house somewhere.
Build an iron throne out of them.
That's right.
He's going to be oh god, what's the German scientist's name from Archer?
Krieger.
Kruger. That's what Fuzz is going to be like. He's going to have his fort. I can't tell you inside a fort kick-ass, and it's just going to be a giant mound of players' handbooks.
I really want my friend Andy to cosplay as Krieger because he already kind of looks like him. Oh, Anna, I'm sorry about your bird. I heard about that.
What?
I heard Navi's dead.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm sorry. I didn't want to break the news to you. I would have assumed you had heard.
No.
Wait, what?
Her and her ex, I thought were still sharing custody of a
kick-ass
what, is it a
bird.
conure? Is he a conure?
A green sheet conure.
Yeah, cool little bird. I heard through the grapevine because I'm not friends with her ex anymore, but I heard like friend of a friend tell me that a big, like over dramatic, like to do post was made about how the bird like soliloquied in her arms and then coughed and died. It's like,
Well,
calling bullshit, but that still sucks. So I'm sorry. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be the one breaking the news to you. I would have assumed you had heard. But yeah, from what I hear.
Well, thank you for telling me because.
Oh sure. I'm sorry. I didn't think I was breaking the news. I was just
Yeah.
that sucks.
Thanks for putting Brielle in a horrible mood.
Right.
Right.
Good
Now I
job.
feel shitty. I was like, I would have ruined the night.
God.
I would have assumed she would have called you. That you would have gotten an update about that.
Yeah, how do you not
Or
tell
something.
somebody like right away when something like that happens?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
How the fuck?
There was something I wanted to say. It was,
Right.
uh,
Well, now you get to take it out on
Yeah.
goblins or whatever.
Right.
I-
Now I
well,
feel
one of-
shitty. 'cause-
Now
One of
Anna
my
gets to
buddies
just
got-
rage face all over somebody for not telling her right away.
Right.
Right,
No,
right.
that's twice as shitty. Should have been told.
One of my buddies got broken up with right before our last game session, and we were like, "Whoa, it's like we understand if you don't want to talk to people right now." And he was like, "No, I need this."
I need to take the aggression out on random NPCs.
Yeah,
Right
I
on.
made sure it was a fighting session and not a be friends with princesses session.
So,
Anna, do you need a fighting session and not a be friends with princesses session?
No,
Okay.
I'm numb. You know, it's just the crap that I've had to deal with the situation and the sacrifices I've made. And for me to find out like this,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
it's not your fault. I actually
I-
really appreciate the fact that you told me because
Yeah,
I don't think I ever would have known
that's
because
fine.
I let them have the bird because I didn't want contact with this person.
That makes
And-
sense. I didn't know you guys weren't still trying to do dual custody, but I was like at the same time, like for a bird, that's kind of difficult to do, and you would have to like, you'd have to go see them more than you probably wish just to get, your turn.
Yeah,
But
it's like, you know, the sacrifices I made and they didn't even tell me.
yeah, that sucks.
Well, I'm just glad you told me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to ruin your night with it. I am legit surprised that you weren't told. That's real shitty.
Better to have shitty news broken to you by a friend than by a douchebag.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
yeah, but still,
I don't want people I don't like delivering shitty news to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Gingy, the news that my wife was cheating on me while I was over in the sandbox was delivered to me by one of my long distance best friends who started with, I understand if you want to kill me, or the next time you see me, you punch me in the face, or you don't want to be friends with me for a while, but I have to tell you this. And I was like, dude, the minute I hung up the phone and went, I can't, okay, you've delivered this bomb, I have to hang up now, click, and raged, and then called him back and went, dude, you're like the best friend I could think of. Because you fucking told me this shit. When everybody else is like, what? Wife cheating on him? What are you talking about? We don't
Right,
see
yeah,
that going on.
I just heard like,
All right.
well, I was like one of my friends, that one of my real close friends is well, I say friends when I was loose terms. He's Facebook friends with her ex, and he was like, "Oh, did you hear about the drama?" And I was like, "I try to avoid the drama. That's why we're not friends on Facebook anymore." But I'm like, "But I'm in your office, and now I'm curious what's going on," and like spun this tale of how like I'm not sure how many words the bird could speak. But basically, it was described as like the bird like soliloquied in her arms, and it was just like, "There, Bobby, I'm sick. What happened?" And then just wrote this epic narrative that I just sort of had to roll my eyes at. Like, I jumped in my car and I drove 90 miles an hour and I flipped my car into a ditch, but I recovered and got my car out of the ditch and we went to the hospital. And I was like, I'm feeling like some of this didn't actually happen.
I'm feeling like this
But
might
I
be
still
bullshit.
feel bad that right, like it stinks. The story stinks, but the end result is you're like, well, it sucks. The bird died though. But I was like, he told me about this epic multi-paragraph narrative that involved like car chases and like soliloquies and like screaming no at the heaven and firing your gun off and like. I was like, it is sad that the bird is dead, but at the same time, I'm like, that story seems like the ramblings of a madman.
Mysteriously sounds just like the plot to Kung Fury.
Like, unfortunately, it's like your bird died in a heist of some sort. It sounds like he was the wheelman and was supposed to be handling this bag of diamonds, and when that failed, the police showed up and. Something from Bad Boys 2 happened. I think a gun was fired off in the air.
Did he lay back on the ground and just fire his gun into the air?
No.
His last words was, "I was getting too old for this shit."
He was heard saying that shit just got real.
Right. But he had to tell me about that, and I was just like, "Oh my god."
Steve, are you in Roll20? Steve, are you in Skype?
Steve, are you dead?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there you are. All right.
I'm waiting for my computer decided that updates would be a great idea.
Oh, great. Like right now. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
This hold on, I'll talk to you in Skype.
But everybody should have gotten throughout the week, kind of let me know, or I kind of got an overview of what you were doing during the downtime, and you ended up coming into some items. Everybody did. So you guys have any questions or Anna? I got the weapon wrong. Pike is fine. It's
Okay, I was
the
just
same
making sure.
abilities. Yeah.
Okay.
With the new staff I have, like I mean, it is clearly a superior staff, and I'm expecting to be using it solely for the most part. But I'm wondering if I'd have the option to like use my arcane knowledge or anything to like remove the jewel or something from my old staff and kind of combine them. Not have the plus bonuses of both combined, but maybe have like the extra planner detection abilities added to the current staff.
As far as that goes, what you can do because it's a.
Because I guess I could always switch them out, but I was like, it felt like, like I'm a arcanist scholar. I'm like, maybe I could figure out the core of the arcane power of staff A and put it in staff B or something, without being OP or cheating and like, yes, give me the plus effects on both of them.
Sure.
But like maybe just the flavor text of both.
Currently.
What if you put it? Oh, sorry, go on.
No worries. Currently, you can definitely research that and have that be an end goal for some research in your character's downtime. At level 11, I'm going to say that the two items are probably a little bit high for you to be able to kind of mix and match like that.
Okay. Basically, it's like when the situation calls for it, I'm gonna have both in my bag, basically.
Right.
And so just as they like right now for RP purposes, of like I suspect something extra planner is afoot. I'll pull out staff A, and it's just basically to cut out me having to describe which staff I'm pulling out. I was gonna try to combine them, so I just didn't have to worry about that. But that does make sense.
He wants to
I'm
label him
only-
so we know when he says he pulls out a staff, we know he's talking about one of his other staffs and not his staff.
Right.
Not as donger.
Dr.
Well,
V didn't
yeah,
whip
just-
his dick out in public. Like
Just
he
tell us
doesn't
which
need
one
a
has the
record just
knob
on
on
the
the
council.
No, it's something I like the idea. Let me think it over because it's got some possibilities for some neat abilities and effects. And I really want to think it through a little bit more before I tell you yes.
Yeah, I didn't want to like make it sound like I wanted to be OP about it, but like, well, one's got a +1 and one's got a +3, so get me a +4.
No,
No,
yeah.
nothing like that. But just for like its flavor text, like its strategic abilities. So instead of me having to like switch back and forth.
Sure. Let me think about it because I think that I could do some interesting things with that.
Yeah,
and we'll come
like
back
you
to it.
said, the level 11 they are probably outside of my expertise, and that makes sense. But like some kind of long-term research project, that's something I'd want to be studying up on.
Okay.
Did somebody say research?
Corvo's like, what?
Boing.
Corvo just Kramers into the door.
I was gonna say that.
Damn it,
there-
Corvo,
like,
just
it
fix
might be
that door.
possible- I was gonna say that it might be possible that you could just chop off the staff part and be like, now I've got like.
Now
stick
you're
it on your
Jewish.
belt.
Yeah.
Like turn the staff into a wand, basically, and just sort of.
Yeah. So it's not as weird to imagine you walking around with two staffs, like some kind of weird walking person.
One of those weird
Like,
walking
I'm-
folks.
A weird walking person.
I'm backpacking across the Forgotten Realms.
Oh, like you're
That's,
using them as like ski walking poles.
Yeah. He's got one of those
Magic
hats
staff
with the,
conversation reminds me of a conversation I had with my wife earlier this week, and I got her to roll her eyes at me so hard I could hear it. we were at the pet store and getting like cat food and junk, and there was these two really cute cats up for adoption, and one was gray and one was white, and I said I want to get them both and then name them both Gandalf.
Oh,
Like,
God.
I could hear her eyes roll from across the room. I was like, I want to get them both, and I'm going to name them both Gandalf.
You can hear her eyes roll across the room. You can hear the car start up and pull away without getting it. You got
So-
a text on your phone that says, "Have a nice walk home."
So as far as your downtime, we've kind of discussed pretty much, what you did during your downtime. It's been about 3 months since you guys got dropped back off by Baba Yaga. And in that 3 months, there has been rumor has abound about what you did precisely, who was involved, and how you did it. And a lot of the stories you've let kind of just narrate themselves because what's better than to get your name out there and just let the story build itself? because it's going to, and it's going to embellish itself, and you don't really need to help it. You give it a kick along the way now and then to, boost what you did in particular. But the group as a whole is seen as kind of these saviors of the world at the moment, or at least, nobody's bitching about daylight savings time anymore. But because you're in a pirate city, and because it's run by a council, it takes for goddamn ever to get anything actually done.
Bureaucrats!
So the important question is, were there free drinks involved?
I'm sure somebody along the way has bought you several drinks.
Yes! Best city ever.
But the 3
God, I
months
hope
is...
not. I don't be fucking bothered by people while I'm researching shit.
Corvo has found a library that everybody will leave him the fuck alone in, and that's where he's been for the last 3 months. He hasn't left.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. He looks like Howard Hughes from the Aviator movie, just long fingernails.
Yeah, surrounded by jars with a mysterious liquid. Right?
But after the 3 months has passed, the captain's council in the city finally gets their act together, and they say, you know what, you guys did such a fantastic job, and we were gonna bring Dr. Vitus on board anyway for solving this weird day-night cycle issue for us. We're just gonna throw a huge celebration. And that's what it takes them 3 months to do, is to plan it, get the permits, burn the permits, get the permits again, spill booze all over the permits, sign the permits, get them ready. And they've essentially set up this big parade, and it's become a national holiday, basically, in celebration.
I want you to clarify, because this really cracked me up. When you were telling me that they were going to do some kind of thing in my honor, and I said I'm going to use my downtime to just pretend to be a bunch of people and spread the story around, and then that escalated it to all right, well, after the yarn has been spun, it's now going to become a recurring holiday, and that just really made me laugh.
This is pretty much, you guys have a national day in Freeport dedicated to you solving the day-night cycle and getting that
Day.
getting
the
that
Feast
corrected.
of Vitus.
So, this celebration is basically Freeport's version of Mardi Gras. Everybody is getting drunk and just
Nice.
celebrating. They're tossing beads all over the place. And
For
you
the
guys,
same reason?
for similar reasons.
Neat. Is that how the city remembers me, by getting trashed and everybody taking their shirts off?
Pretty much. And they have even the parade and the floats, and they've taken old ships and they've put wheels on them and decked them out in flowers and fake gold coins, and just you guys are riding through town on one. And as the festivities go on, the culmination of the celebration is going to be Dr. Vitus's indoctrination into the Captain's Council. And they're planning this big feast, and they're going to do the awards ceremony, all of the end of Star Wars, where they're going to put the medals over your head and all that good stuff.
Can
That was
Steve
actually a
Whitman Bear?
Hawaiian wedding ceremony.
Which
by the
songs
way.
are the Ewoks
Yeah.
singing?
I want Steve to be a bear to give me the Chewy gargle when appropriate.
When he's pissed off that he doesn't get a medal.
No, he should get a medal. Basically, taking care of number one is priority one, but as soon as they're Dr. V's going to be on the council, I'm going to pretty much be stressing from there forward. Don't forget about my people. They were invaluable.
All right. And so
I want to make sure everybody gets their own. Everybody needs a trophy.
it's planned out. You guys have had several boring bureaucratic meetings about the route of the parade and all that good stuff. And the day actually comes, and it goes off without a hitch. You guys are carried through town on this makeshift float that is this big ship that's been turned into this float. And you guys are taken through and up to where you're going to have your feast. And it gets to the awards ceremony for your addition onto the council. And as the I'm trying to find the actual phrasing of everything here. Give me just a second, because I have it written down so I can make sure I got it right. Okay, so as you're, they're giving the speeches and going through, and they're flourishing, and the long and drawn out, just grandiose speeches that pirates are going to give because they have the center stage and they don't want to give up that spotlight. But just as the guy is walking out with the medal to pin on you to show that you're now part of the council, there's a sudden kind of shift in the wind, and it's got this just kind of strange unease about it, and it's kind of like when air pressure drops before the approach of like a deadly storm, and you're all living in Freeport. You're all very familiar with what that feels like.
Everyone's previously broken joints are real sore.
Yeah, and there's actually
Knuckles are killing me.
It feels like there's a faint earthquake from somewhere far off, not strong enough to shift or rattle anything, but you just kind of that low vibration in the ground. And the city is actually, as this is happening, goes just unnaturally quiet. There's no birds, there's no people talking, there's nobody drinking, there's nobody scraping their fork across the plate, nothing. There's just no sound whatsoever for about 3 or 4 seconds, just long enough for it to get real kind of awkward and uncomfortable, and then everybody just kind of goes back to doing their thing. The captain's council looks at each other and kind of raises an eyebrow. They're giving kind of questioning looks to each other without actually saying anything. And you guys finish up your feast and your awards, and Gigi, you are now officially on the captain's council. And as the night winds down, everybody is a bit drunk, but one of the members of the council approaches you, Gingy, kind of taps you on your shoulder and leans close in, and he says, "I need you and your group of adventurers to come with me right now."
Now?
Now.
But
No.
I was like, I've got like an arm full of like shitty plastic beads. I'm like, I've got 1, 2, 3, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 17. Well, wait, hold on. 18 titties that need to be seen before I'm undisposed.
He gives you the look that says now, kind of like this is more important.
I will sigh and
and
put
maximize-
I will put all 9 of my necklaces around his neck and go, all right.
All right. So, are you gathering everybody up, or are you?
Well, who's in my immediate vicinity?
Well, where would you guys be at during this this
Yeah,
festival?
because it's a festival, and
Well, at the start of the festival, I would have been as close to my my employer as possible. By this point in the festival, because you said free booze, I've probably been already picked up by the cops. I'm already in jail again, in the drunk tank, again, waiting to get bailed out.
All right. Where's everybody else?
Darren's probably wherever the most dancing is happening. He's probably maximized his bead retrieval because he can like turn into things with multiple nipples.
Steve is like, so like that would be the solve of my problem if you were like an 18-tittied beast. Like, well, my job here is done.
Yeah, when I'm an Earth Elemental, I basically have like, it's just covered. And it's like, oh wait, is that a rock or a nipple? It kind of looks like a nipple.
Doesn't matter.
It'd be
Well,
Give him more
Throw 'em
beats.
a bead.
I think Brielle's got enough drink in her to get out her viol and start playing for people. So that's probably what she's doing.
All right. So, Brielle is making some of the music that the Earth Elemental is dancing to, apparently. All right. And Cypher, where's Corvo at?
The same place he's always at.
So you got off the float, and instead of going to eat, you went back to the library.
Yeah, I
All
did what I needed to do to be socially acceptable, but I've got work to do. So
Okay. So there you go, Gigi. That's
you
where everybody's
fulfilled
at.
the social contract.
yeah,
But okay, understood. Well, if it sounded important, like did the person who told me this was another council member,
It was.
and was there an air of panic or just like it's important?
It was an air of panic is not the right word, but definitely some calm, reserved urgentness.
Okay, so then I will take the time to gather everybody, as best we can, because I don't have a conch shell yet, and I'll have to magic us up some talking stones. But
Dr. Vitus, news team assemble.
right, so I guess I will have to sub-adventure Scooby-Doo this. I will have to find the first person I find and see if they know where anyone else is, and we'll work together and get everybody together.
Okay, but you are going to spend the time to actually go and find everybody.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, because they did say get your team, and I'm judging based on the tone of voice there that it's something moderately grave. So
Yeah, it's definitely urgent. Okay. So you spend, and it takes you about 15 minutes to round everybody up. You have a guess of where Corvo is, and you do eventually find him. And after rounding everybody up, you basically, there's a mansion's the wrong word. There's a large house that is essentially in Freeport, and it's the bow of a ship that has been, like, a ship's been cut in half, and there's been a door added to the front of it, and it's where the captain's council meets on a regular basis. And so that's where you kind of assume that that's where you're being called to. And you get in, and sitting around this large table are the other 12 members of the captain's council, and they're basically sitting across the table from where you enter. And
Council.
they're basically waiting for you to approach. Are you going to walk up on your own, or are you bringing everybody like in step with you, or how are you guys approaching that?
I'll bring everyone in step with me since they did request all of us. So I'm not gonna act like I'm walking into a king's throne. They're my peers at this point, so
Okay.
I'm not gonna treat them like Baba Yaga or nothing. I'll walk in and just say the crew has been assembled as per request.
Okay.
Avengers Assemble!
Avengers Assemble.
I'm not painting myself green.
So, I'm trying to think of the right word. The senior member, there we go, of the council kind of looks up, and he's the one sitting center of the table, and he says, "That I'm guessing you weren't too drunk for that silence earlier to go unnoticed."
Silence?
What silence?
It's golden.
The air of unease that was rang through the town a few moments ago.
I'm gonna say in Draconic to Vitus, there was a strong disturbance in the force.
Anna, that thing that I told you about during our downtime, Anna,
Yeah.
that's that thing.
I don't know, man. Did I detect that? Because it's legit, Dr. V's ego just got filleted by the entire city. I don't know how much he would have been aware outside of that bubble.
If nothing else, the 3 or 4 second silence would have caught you off guard. You would have noticed that.
Like, so you mean literally?
Literally, there was no sound.
There was a sound dead zone for a few seconds.
Yes.
Okay. I probably at that moment would have like stuck a finger in my ear and shook my head because I had been drinking heavily. Unless I watched everyone else in my vicinity also freak out, I probably would have assumed that was something wrong with my brain.
Nobody freaked out, but everybody just kind of stopped what they were doing. There was definitely a noticeable pause.
Do I
Okay.
still hear it?
No, it has stopped for the time being.
Okay.
So if you want to, I don't know if you want to share that information that you know, Anna, or not.
I won't do it in front of the council. I'll do it in more private settings.
Okay.
But I will share with the group that I may have some information that we'll talk later.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I did. If I mean, a literal pocket of silence. Someone hit mute on the party.
Yeah.
I did notice that.
Okay. Well, he'll say, that is why you're here. That silence. We have an idea of what has caused it, and unfortunately, any of the options that caused it were not good. And we have been tasked to send a group to represent Freeport and Freeport's interests to Waterdeep, and to a council that is being tasked there to deal with what very possibly was the cause of that silence and that unrest. You being, unfortunately, the low man on the totem pole, but obviously very capable, have been chosen to represent Freeport and the Captain's Councils at this council.
That means the bitches are scared.
It sounds like it, yeah.
So you and your crew are to set sail for Waterdeep in the morning. You will be stocked with food and supplies from our stores to last you through your voyage. And you are to assist the council at Waterdeep in whatever manner that you can, as long as it reflects well on Freeport.
Well, before I leave, I mean, Freeport, I've made it a point to have Freeport's business be my business for a number of years now, before I was even welcome onto the council. Now that I am, Freeport's business is officially my business. So with that being said, before I start working on things outside of these walls, how is this being dealt with locally? How is this going to? How is the people taking this? How is this going to affect the party?
At the moment, the stakes are not relevant to everyone, or not. I'm sorry, relevant's the wrong word from the DM. The stakes are not known to everyone. However, they are relevant to everyone. If this is what we think it is, and what the council at Waterdeep thinks it is.
What do you think it is?
Right. I'm like, you've clearly got more information than you've given me. I want to be prepared for whatever I have ahead of me.
He looks at the other members of the council and gets a few nods from them in their directions. And he says that if the information that we've gotten is correct, it was the sounding of the Drackhorn. This is a artifact used to call dragons, namely metallic dragons.
Would
and
Dr. V have been affected by that at all, since he's a Gold Dragon disciple?
It would not, because your transformation's not far enough along yet.
Okay.
I did think about that, but yeah.
You said it's a horn?
It is a horn.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to confirm with them the horn has been sounded.
okay.
Is it common knowledge that metallic dragons are good?
It is common
Generally.
knowledge that metallic dragons are not good, generally.
The chromatic dragons are the.
Oh, did you say metallic or did you say chromatic?
No, he said metallic.
Did I get that backwards?
Yeah, I thought.
The metallic dragons
I
are
thought that
good.
was-
Chromatic dragons are
Okay.
bad.
My apologies. DM got that backwards.
Okay.
So it is pulls chromatic dragons. It
okay.
is a call for chromatic dragons
you.
to gather.
I was like, oh great, that's awesome.
So what's the problem?
No, it's the
Yeah.
the bad one.
Okay, gotcha.
You Willy
But,
Wonka this.
so it's okay. So it is common knowledge though. So we're like, oh god.
Yeah. This would go, oh shit, the world is actually in jeopardy, potentially. But yeah, so the Drackhorn has been, that sound was the sounding of the Drackhorn, which is to call together all dragons, but chromatic dragons in particularly. The council at Waterdeep has more information than what they've given us to start with as to who they think may be involved. All we know is the cult of dragon may be involved, and I understand that you do have some history with them as well.
We have been at their opposition before.
Then it sounds like you are definitely the right choice to approach this for us. and we would like you to send you over as emissaries from Freeport to Waterdeep into this council and to address the threat.
And while bringing a good name to and protecting the citizens of Freeport is something that I consider a priority, you're also asking that I put myself and my partnership here into considerable physical, mental, and magical damage. How would we be compensated for essentially saving the day again?
Well, I'm certain that the council at Waterdeep has their own ways of showing you their appreciation. Hang on, I had to step away from my desk for a second. I've got to finish up dinner real quick.
Dinner.
But he also says that while if you were return successful and you and your crew shine a favorable light on Freeport, that will go a long way for solidifying our status as a recognized city-state, and we will be more than happy to provide more than adequate lodging, permanent residence rather, and financial, monetary rewards. And,
Okay,
and
but
status.
I already own property here. I'm already a citizen of Freeport. Like, I own a shop here.
Right, you have a shop, but what we're offering is much more than a shop. He basically I'm this is the GM blanking, so bear with me here. He mentions the wealthy section of Freeport and the wealthy section of that wealthy section for you to have a house and a residence.
I'm gonna interrupt him and just sort of like do the hand swishy, like shut up motion. Like, you must understand, I'm already a citizen of this city. I am established. My shop is magical in nature. I can make the interior of it look as nice as I damn well wish it to be. And I'm gonna just gesture large flailing behind me. These people, my associates, who risk their neck to keep me alive, aren't as fortunate as I.
No. This is residence for all peoples involved.
Okay.
This is not just strictly you. This
not
would
gonna-
be for everyone involved.
You don't mean a communal house?
No,
because
no. I mean residence,
this
individual
very desk
residence.
actually-
individual residence for all parties involved.
Okay.
As many tomes as those parties would like to study, access to the libraries and the vaults.
As awesome as a reality show would be.
That's awesome.
Right. As much as I would like us to have a big brother house.
7 adventures. But
One
in a
house.
Things get real.
Real world Freeport.
What happens?
Sarah, you should be a monkey all the time and just
And just throw poop all the time.
They're
Well,
proof
no,
that
just-
everyone.
get on people's shoulders and be like annoying and distracting and give us a little edge in conversation.
Just be like a raven and just every now and then be like, "Ah, liar!"
Ah!
But he's offering you pretty much the best accommodations in Freeport, and for lack of a better description from the GM, the run of the city. Pretty much the coffers will flow for you. You guys have access to all the books, all the knowledge you could want, all the artifacts to study.
Like,
He-
I mean, sounds good for you guys is basically how I'm interpreting it. Like, I've been a citizen of the city for a while. Like, I set up shop here when we had our first big time jump. So I'm like, I'm square, but that sounds like something you guys would benefit from. And so if this is something you want to risk your life over, I'll
Not
support
really.
you.
All
All right,
those,
then leave!
those things that they're offering aren't appealing. Don't want a house. Don't want that shit. What I do want though is
Throw
some
it on the table.
information from them. Because one of the whole reasons came here was the whole ship and family and crew wiped out of my other ship, and nobody in Freeport has in the 3 months time been willing to say shit about what that ship really was. It didn't have any flags, and it was a very nondescript hull, but it kicked the shit out of the ship that I was on and killed everybody. And everybody's like, "Oh, we don't know nothing about." That's what I want. I want
Put it on the table.
That's what I want. Don't want the house. Don't want the fluff.
And I'll declare that, as a council member, any information that might assist you in that I have access to, I'll give you freely.
Then I'm in.
Okay. He looks the council person that you've been dealing with directly. Looks across the rest of the group for any other amendments to your demands, basically. Or not demands, that's the wrong, rewards.
I'll look at him straight in the eye and just give him the shrug. Like, sure.
Saren's like, this will make a great story.
He looks over at Corvo.
What?
Does he have
What
his face
say
in it?
you, dingus?
He's
I haven't-
got his nose in a book.
I haven't left, so I assume that means I'm involved in the situation.
Well, we're basically making sure that you're willing to be involved in the situation, and they've offered you unfettered access to all of their libraries and knowledge stores.
I know, that's why I haven't left.
Okay, I'm just checking. Fuck. I'm trying to get everybody happy and paid.
Alright, so it sounds like he's getting nods from everybody at that point. He says, alright. Dr. Vitus, I know that you do own a ship. Are you wanting to take that, or would you like...
Because that's a whole other person.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of true. Alright, good point.
I have been seen frequenting a ship, and it probably wouldn't be secret knowledge that that me and that pirate, Voberts, that we know each other. So I mean, they could probably ask if I have access to a ship or.
Yeah, I was gonna reword that. Yeah, he says that I know that you have a captain that you frequent his vessel. Do you think that he would loan it to you for your voyage to Waterdeep, or would you like one to be provided for you?
I trust his ship more than anyone's. However, he would need additional compensation. I'm sure the captain would need money for use of his vessel.
He says that's fair. He says have the captain deliver his requirements for the use of his vessel by dawn, and he will be compensated.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to mute. If I go
Oh,
silent,
I thought that was a snicker.
No, I'm coughing and junk still. I'm still sick.
I
Yeah,
snickered.
no worries. Okay. I was just like, oh, that sounds like a
if I have
sticker.
any long mid-sentence pauses because I hit mute so I don't cough in everybody's ear. I'm trying my best.
No worries, I appreciate it. Alright, so do you guys have any questions for the council? Because they're pretty much, at this point, they have presented you with the information that they have on what's being asked of you.
I want all the information on the horn and any relevant. I mean, everything
seems-
they've got.
Okay.
I mean, that's not asking too much.
And
We need
just
to know
check
everything
it.
we can.
Do we have a point of contact over in Water? Are we going to Waterdeep?
You are going to Waterdeep.
Do we got a point of contact over Waterdeep, or are we just going to fly in there, flagging the Freeport flag, and hope that we don't accidentally come out under hostility?
No, that's a good point. That's probably DM missing a detail there. Hang on, I have her name, I just don't have it right in front of me. He says there is a member of the Harpers that will meet you named Remy.
Nice.
And she will take you into the council once you've made your way to Waterdeep. You guys in game, if you switch over to your journal tab, there should be a whole bunch of NPCs with some information on them for you guys to look over too.
From what little Debaucher would actually know about the Harpers, like just rumors and stuff like that, aren't they usually kind of a secretive folks? Are we just going to roll up on the dock and go, "Hey, we're looking for Remy the Harper"? Oops.
No, chances are she'll find you. They are very good at acquiring their information and putting it to good uses. I would not be surprised if she was waiting for you when you arrive.
Sounds good to me.
As far as your question about information on the Drakhorn, he's given you pretty much everything that he has. As far as he doesn't know, because Waterdeep didn't provide a whole lot of information. They're trying to keep their cards close to their chest. He says, "I'm not sure who is in hold of it. I have heard mention of the Cult of Dragons, but from my experience, they deal mainly in dead dragons, and not living ones. So I don't know if they are in fact holding the horn, and if so, what their intent is for it. We were just told that if this horn is blown, it is to put the rest of the world in peril."
Well, sounds like I need to go talk to the captain.
Okay. He says, I will wait here for your return, Dr. Vitus, and we will hash out the details of the captain's compensation."
He puts an eye patch and a peg leg on one of his hands.
Yeah. Old Peg Arm the pirate.
All right. So the rest of you guys are you where are you guys headed?
Well, he didn't specifically say that the captain had to come back. He just said somebody comes back with, that captain sends back his requirements.
Right.
Because I'm a member on that ship. That's where I'm
Yeah.
pirating from.
It sounds like we've got the stuff.
I
He
could
just
basically
needs to
go
send
and
the
get a
information
drink
back.
and then come back and be like, all right, I have his demands.
Okay.
This is the perfect opportunity for you to double dip on the reward there, Gingy.
That's the goddamn plan, son. Plan, dog.
Is our supplies ready so we can go get it and then?
They will be by dawn.
Living supplies should be delivered directly to the ex-wife. We don't get paid for lifting shit.
Okay. And they will be. They'll be on the ship before you set sail in the morning.
Yeah, that's what dock workers get paid for.
That's right.
And of course, for anybody who's never heard that, the ex-wife is the name of
That's right.
the pirate ship.
Of the pirate ship.
And Dramamine, where can I purchase it?
And you guys that are watching at home, we are giving away a copy of the 5th edition's Player's Handbook, or a mini at your discretion for what you want as a giveaway this evening at the end of the stream. Thanks to Fuzz and his generous donations. So we're gonna do that tonight. So if you guys want to get in on that, hit !PHB to enter the raffle. It does cost you a little bit of XP, but you should have the 50 XP just for hanging out. If you don't, hit that follow button. That'll give you a little bit of extra XP that you can use to get down on this raffle with.
Get down on this raffle.
That's right. Down on it. All right. So what is the Rad Pirates Robert's demands for his compensation?
The Rad Pirate Roberts is for use of ship, crew, transport, and protection of all properties utilized for a mission. He would request 20,000 gold.
Holy crap.
That's for full ship, full crew complement, full. That's everything. And
Right
that's
on.
something I would be dividing amongst crew.
He nods, and
Because we're asking that crew to put their life in danger for something that they don't really give a shit about. So it's not that the captain's about to pocket 20K.
he mulls it over for a moment, and he nods. He says that's for the trek and the
Trek expenses and
expenses that
basically
we're
just
asking.
basically talking like if I go to that crew and go, Who wants to go in the middle of the front lines of an undead dragon battle for free? There'll be mutiny. I gotta offer him something.
Chirping crickets.
Right. And Goat is official crew, so he'll get a cut of whatever that is on top of what he's already been offered. They don't need to know he's crew.
Double woohoo.
So he'll toss he'll actually just kind of shrug, reach down, grab a bag off of his pouch or off of his belt. That's the word I'm looking for, and tosses it on the table and says, "In there, you should find 22,000 gold. Make the best use of it."
Boom. We've never really established how big is my crew, because I don't know what a standard complement would be on these type of ships.
Yeah, your
That's
ship.
kind of how standard complement's pretty much how I've got it imagined.
Yeah, your ship actually, because it's magical in the way that it's run, you don't actually require a large crew to run it. So
yeah, we would magically be propelled, but I
Mhm.
would probably still want people.
So you've probably got a small crew because you trust a small number of people with around Rad Pirates Foberts and trust them not to go snooping, basically.
Yeah.
So you've probably got about 10 people on your crew,
Okay,
including Goat.
including Goat.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that's 2,000 gold per person, which is pretty damn good.
2,200 gold.
Yep.
So, Goat, give yourself 2,200 gold, and I'm going to do the same for myself.
I'm surprised Gingy's giving you that 200 and not pocketing all of that
No,
leftover.
yeah, dude, I like money, but I'm fair.
No, that's finder's fee.
I wasn't
That's all.
gonna. I
was
wasn't
gonna say.
I wasn't gonna try to convince you into like, give me an extra 20,000. No, I was like,
Well, let's
I was
see.
thinking about that legit.
All
There's
right.
the 2,200 minus expenses for food and transportation.
No,
Finder's
they've
fee
supplied
and-
us with food.
Yep.
They already said they've given us full like rations and materials.
Yeah, but that's
But-
coming out of the boat's stocks now. So that means they have to be replenished. So he has to. So it's like a bad
No.
scheme.
No, he said for his crew, not for us. So they are supplying separate provisions for us.
Yeah, we get our own provisions. The crew can deal with whatever with their money. The crew just got paid. They got paid pretty well for basically just manning the ship and taking a group of people somewhere. Steve, however, I've come to the conclusion that being a monkey is dumb. Whenever he wants to just relax, he needs to be a quokka.
A quokka? What?
Yeah.
What's a quokka?
Google QUOKKA. It's an extremely photogenic, chubby-cheeked little rodent that usually looks like it's grinning like a dumbass.
QUO.
KKA. It's a quokka.
You got that from Sarah's.
Oh my god.
I've seen them before, but they're photogenic as all get out, and they just look really happy about life. Like, I think Steve should just be a quokka when he hangs out.
Alright.
Just to throw that out there.
Yeah, that's that sounds great.
Like-
When he's not being a killer whale or something.
Right. Just quacking it up.
No.
Because it's like that animal just looks like it's always going, "Hi guys."
Alright. So is there anything anybody else wants to do before you set sail at dawn?
Saren's probably gonna let his other group know where he's headed. They're not as they're more like you sign on for certain voyages, so they're not gonna be like, "Where's Saren?" But
Where's
yeah,
that
but
Saren
he'll just
guy
be
at?
like, "Hey, I'm going to the Sword Coast. Peace."
Alright.
Word to your mother.
Or do your mother?
I'm gonna load up on map supplies.
Yeah.
Maps?
Yeah, map supplies. No, I make maps.
Right. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm still at the moment just trying to get my new spells learned. I'm trying to decide.
No worries. Goat or Cypher, do you guys have any specific supplies you want to load up on or anything you want to do before you set sail?
No specific supplies. I have to go around and pay off numerous bar tabs.
Okay.
Paper damages, apologize. Sorry about that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else that I need to do. It's not like I have to tell the books I'll be back. So
Okay.
You might want
They'll miss you, though.
now that you know something about what we're dealing with, the horn, you might want to do some horn research, just to
And-
see.
In a day?
Well, just to
Not
see what
even
you
a
can
day,
pick up.
like 6 hours.
Yeah, that's that kind of thing's going to take an involved amount of time to do actual effective research. Otherwise, it's like, oh look, here's a book. Oh, it's time to go. So
All right. In that case, so you guys, I'm going to switch our map over here to Sword Coast. If I can remember where it is, there it is.
Whee.
You guys are at sea for, and you actually sail east around from Freeport to get to the Sword Coast and to get to Waterdeep. And you sail for actually like it's about a week and a half trek. Everybody give me con saves real quick, please.
oh come on, I have to fucking pass it this time.
At an advantage.
Would navigation
Yeah.
and skills in water
Yeah,
and
those of
sailing,
you that are pirates or are familiar with ship get an advantage.
Cool.
con
I
save,
should have brought the Dramamine.
hey, it's either way. 15 it is.
What's funny is I'm awesome on a boat in real life.
No problem. Wolf, that other map was our world map. It is a homebrewed campaign setting, and I can actually pull it back up for you here real quick if you want to just take a quick look at it while I tell these guys who's going to be seasick. So
I'll just
Anna.
hover a few inches off the boat so I don't actually move around.
Anna, well, you got an advantage, Gingy, so you're fine. But Anna and Cypher are pretty much seasick for most of the trip.
I guess
That's
I am
my
green.
secret.
I guess I am green now.
Ba-dum-bum.
That's Dr. V's secret. He just sort of like barely hovers like a few inches above the boat, so it just sort of rocks under him and he's just perfectly level.
All right, so you guys are now here in Waterdeep, and we actually are in some canon stuff. Yay! But there's Waterdeep for you if you need help finding it. The
Oh, wow. Zoom
the-
in a little bit.
trip, other than the seasickness, is pretty uneventful. The weather is a little bit cold because you are sailing through like the northern seas. They did provide you with furs and some thicker garments to wear, so the cold that doesn't bother you all that
Anyway.
much. That's right.
I had to throw that in. Sorry.
Get out. It's a 50 DKP minus.
Oh.
But yeah, so you guys do have furs and stuff that you're wearing along your trip. So other than, it is fairly quiet, other than once or twice you do get that same kind of stillness in the air that you got during the party, where everything kind of goes quiet for a bit. Even the waves like lapping at the sides of the boat kind of calm down a little bit during these 3 or 4 seconds.
Do I get a direction?
That is a good question. Hold on just a second for me.
Because I'm drawn to it.
You are kind of drawn to it a little bit. Gingy, it even gets to the point where you will find yourself on the same edge of the boat when this happens. You're like, oh, I'm always facing, and this thing is actually coming from the...
I thought it was affecting chromatics.
It affects all dragons, but chromatics particularly intense.
It really summons them.
Yeah. It is coming from the south of where you are currently sailing. So when it happens, Gingy, you always tend to find yourself on the south side of the ship. It's not a irresistible pull for you or anything, but it's like, I have this inclination that I should be over here, kind of when it happens.
Right.
And it's just kind of a mental tick, a little bit. But other than that, your trip to Waterdeep is uneventful. You guys land and make your, as you're mooring your lines and everything, Remy approaches the ship that you guys are on and kind of greets each of you in turn. she knows enough to be able to greet you by name. Gingy, are you the captain or are you Dr. Vitus when you land?
When we land, it's Dr. V. The captain was basically seen right. Basically, he came out of his cabin to give orders, said not to disturb him, and then went into his cabin. Hasn't been seen since.
Okay. She doesn't look for the captain at all. She's really just looking for you guys because she's told that this is the group that you're going to be looking for. The rest is just kind of crew.
I always have a cloak up, by the way, so my appearance is not necessarily as obvious, even though I'm huge.
Right.
I got something just came up here, guys. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
No
Because as we've all learned,
Cypher, do we need to hold for a minute?
I don't. It's my mother. I don't know what it is. She sent me a message asking me if she could talk to me. So I don't know. So if you guys want to keep going, that's fine.
No, we'll
We
hold for
can
a
take
minute.
a moment,
Yeah.
because I'm still dealing with spells, man. I'm getting spells added.
Because remember, we've all learned from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons. All you have to do is cover up the back of your head, and no one will ever notice.
That's right.
Tail sticking out.
All you need's like a fedora and a trench coat. No one knows you're a
Exactly.
turtle.
Oh, and I kind of messed up a little bit on the direction of the horn pull. I got it backwards. It is not south. It is north.
Oh,
So-
that's interesting because we're like on the north chunk of the world.
You are pretty far north.
Yes, but like the
Yeah.
endless, the endless sea and all that other stuff, and the cold mountains are to the north of us.
That just went from like not telling us much to like.
Telling you quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah. I totally got that backwards. But yeah, it is from the north of you.
Cool.
Steve, I ended up giving you 2 things, right? For some reason in the back of my head, I keep thinking that I only gave you 1.
No, I got a cool ass pendant.
Right.
And now I'm Indiana Jones because I got a whip.
That's right. That's what the other one was. I remembered the pendant, and I forgot about the whip.
Yeah.
The thing you gave me, I can't imagine not at least doing it once to the poor people who were seasick. Because just imagine suddenly being given a jar of mayonnaise when you're seasick. Here, oh, worth it. I'll clean that up.
If you've ever been on a boat with 17-foot swells, you're pretty much holding on for dear life and trying not to throw up. So yeah, no,
Is this when I sarcastically go, no, ... In my 23 years in the Coast Guard, I was never in Alaska during winter patrols. ...
I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
didn't know you were in the Coast Guard. I thought you were.
Don't say it. Don't say you thought I was in the Navy.
No,
Hey,
I thought you
Nothing
were.
wrong with that.
Everybody likes semen.
That's right.
Bum.
We can call you Barnacle
Snare
Goat.
drums.
Barnacle go the sailor.
Oh man, it is ridiculous. It's April and it's gotten fucking hot in my house like it's goddamn June. It's ridiculous.
I had to turn on the air, and I never turn on the air.
I wish I had AC. That would be fantastic.
So of course I'm the opposite of that, because it snowed yesterday enough to, I actually went around and shoveled off my yard to go get rid of the giant mounds of snow, let the grass start to grow again, and then this morning there was 1.5 inches of snow and ice on the ground, but now it's raining, but it's only 33 degrees.
Only 33.
Typical 33.
Isn't that like summer for you?
That's no, actually summer gets up to like the 80s here sometimes. Not often.
I don't believe it.
Usually it's the high 60s, mid 70s. We are the pirates.
Trying to make sure that pretty sure I've given you guys all the information you really need.
We're meeting with Remy. We're trying to meet with their council. We're representing free
Free booze? Free booze?
ports.
What?
He's
It-
drunk.
I'm trying to
We're
remember what it
representing
is. I know
I'm
it
probably
has a
drunk already.
port in it.
We're representing
Port
Freeport's
wine?
interests to the
Sorry.
council here, and Remy is a representative of the Harpers, which probably is not the people I would normally associate us with.
I associate us with whoever's paying the bills.
That's true, but I'd say we're more the Zaharam or Zaharan kind of crowd. The black.
Wait, what's
merchants.
this about a harem?
I know. I was just thinking the
What?
same thing.
Harems.
The harem wanted to buy you because they heard you could turn into a golem that was just covered with nipples. so they were like excited
Yeah.
about
Or a dog if they only want 6.
it.
That is as weird as it is hilarious.
Terrible.
Terrible. Just terrible.
Terrible. Terrible.
T-R-I-B-L. Terrible.
Yeah, I learned, I don't know if Cypher's heard yet, that the next wave for the beta him and I are doing starts on the 22nd. Hooray.
Right on.
The game is fun.
I keep looking at it and just, I don't know, I've got so many games that I'm playing at the moment that I'm not trying to not look for a new one. Mortal Kombat is real good.
I know, I don't have $60. Like, I'm just now getting to playing the 2 games my wife bought me for Christmas.
So, Jason, out of curiosity, there, Mr. GM, the flags that are on there, I'm guessing, are the different factions.
They are.
Flags.
They are.
So, would the uber cool one with the Drake flying downward with flames behind it, would that be the
Yes, it is.
harem one?
Yeah. Yep. That is the harem. The green there is the Emerald Enclave. The crown is the Lord's Alliance. The one with the sword is the Order
Gauntlet?
of something. Order of the Gauntlet.
Something gauntlet.
Yeah. And then the harp is the Harpers.
Is this the Game of Thrones?
It is not, although this one, and it's something that I do like about this this setup is it actually does have a little bit of politics involved with it. So there's more chance than just, hey, go run this dungeon and kill this thing.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Forgotten Realms.
Oh, we're in Hogwarts. Okay.
What?
We're going to reach in the hat. Brielle, you are now part of the Bread Makers Guild. Yay! Wait, what? Why am I that?
The Oogity Boogity scalp grinding dance hat.
That's right.
While it winces and releases onto your scalp. It's like, Gryffindor.
Gryffindor!
I really, the sorting hat, what it did is it just did it by the taste of your hair, as it was eating it off your scalp. This is kind of minty. I guess you'll go in Hufflepuff. That's really, that was the secret to the whole thing. Just depended on what kind of shampoo you
So-
used.
Yeah, so because Harry spent most of his time in a basement and not getting to wash his hair, it wasn't sure.
It's like, oh,
So, yeah.
Yeah, if it pisses you off, it's like, oh, lice, Hufflepuff.
That's right. What's this? Hair dye. You're in Ravenclaw.
It's really greasy, so I'm thinking Slytherin, but like,
Yeah, is it slicked back, Slytherin?
Dude, that kid that played Malfoy is up there with like child actors that can just play douchebags real well.
No, that's all he can do. You can't make his face not douchey looking.
he is just like the actor who played Johnny in The Karate Kid. He is now forever known as, you're the douchebag. We need a douchebag. Hire that kid.
I mean,
yeah. Now
he
his
was
next
in
chance
that Planet of the
will be
Apes
it.
movie too, and still looked like a fucking skeezy ass scumbag.
Well, it's like Joffrey,
They
like
had
the
him-
kid that
they had him
played
in How I Met
Joffrey
Your Mother.
isn't acting anymore because he got so
Yeah.
much hate mail.
He was in, what else did he play in? He played in like an M. Night Shyamalan movie or something, didn't
With Joffrey?
he? He had a little kid.
I don't know of anything else he's been in
No,
besides
neither.
Batman Begins and Game of
Oh, Batman
Thrones.
Begins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
apparently, like-
he was the kid who got handed like the periscope, but
Apparently, he got so much hate mail for Joffrey, he's like, yeah, I'm not acting anymore.
I don't think that was his only thing because he was like, I'm dead. He's like, I'm going to school. He's like, this isn't something I see myself doing my whole life, and so he's like, I'm focusing on my studies.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't think he was like, no one likes me acting stupid. Like, I mean, considering most actors, like when interviewed, always say that they enjoy playing villains just because it can be fun to play the bad guy.
Change.
You get to be a douchebag and everybody still
Yeah.
loves you.
I like playing douchebags. Like playing douchebags is fun.
Kind of like the actor who played Kreese from Karate Kid. He's like, people still come up to me and go, you beat up Daniel LaRusso, man. You're an asshole. And he's like, I love it. I fucking love it that I affected culture that much that multi-generations of people remember me as the bad guy from Cobra Kai.
That douchebag.
That douchebag.
You know, you can buy a full-on Cobra Kai gi off Amazon right now.
Hell yeah.
I almost did. I recently I paid off my Amazon card, and pretty much my Amazon card is just made for like buying more pieces to our home automation system. So I just got I just paid that off, and I almost bought a Cobra Kai gi for no reason.
Just because you could.
I instead bought a networked infrared hub that I can basically send communications to through other devices and tell it to turn on our home theater stuff. So I basically just tied in all of our home theater gear into the network.
I think you made the wrong decision. I think you should have gone with the key.
I think I should have got both, but I like I like to buy things on that credit card that I can't afford to pay for in one paycheck, but things I can afford to pay with like 2 paychecks. I don't like making payments on that for long periods of time. Speaking of which, awesome shit. We refinanced our house, got it dropped down a full percentage, so that's going to save me about $1.50 a month.
Nice.
And I finally got confirmation from the budgetary committee at work that my raise is on the docket for the 24th of this month. So my first check in May should have my new pay rate on it finally,
Nice.
including a couple of month back pay.
Nice.
That is excellent. And did you ever finally figure out who the hell is the mortgage company that owns your mortgage now?
Yeah, I did, and that's why we refinanced, because it was like some just debt collector group who has little to no customer service. We're like, fuck that, we want it to be with a bank. And it was with Bank of America, and I haven't been happy with Bank of America since they had the loan. So we said, fuck it, we went to our Fifth Third rep and just said, hey, do you want to buy our loan? And he's like, not only can I buy your loan, I can do it at a lower interest rate. So we're like, fuck yeah, double win. So yeah, that company who bought our mortgage had our mortgage for about a collective like 9 days.
Excellent.
But it's probably not going. They said it's probably going to take 30 to go through, and we have to pay for another home inspection, unfortunately. But that's an investment. Here's $300 to make me pay less, like 150 less every month. That's easy money.
Yeah, but that's going to turn out epic, because they're going to come to inspect your house and be like, "What the fuck?" And you're like, "Watch this, Hal, turn on the lights in the hallway." Ding, ding, ding.
I haven't got it to the point to where it's voice commanded yet. That's
So the keyword in that sentence was yet.
No, I'm planning. I'm been building a ED AI system for years. But what we're doing in the meantime, because I'm hitting a couple of technological roadblocks as far as what we can do right now, which is most of what I wanted to do. So I've been spending my extra money on basically like things that it can control, like buying a light switch I can tie into the network and then adding it and then things like that. So right now I can pull my cell phone out and turn on lights and turn on like the music, and now I can use it to turn on all of our PlayStations and TV and shit in the basement, which is nice, because I'm probably just going to rig all that up to like a command on my watch, so I can be like, I want to watch TV, and then click, 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 all my shit comes on. But in the future, once I get a dedicated server.
Sorry.
In the future, Gingy's just going to turn into Rick.
Well, there's already like some good software that can tie into everything we're using called Vox Commando, and I just have to have that running on a dedicated machine, and then you can tie any smart device to being like a remote microphone to that server. So pretty much anything in the house. I'm probably going to set up a couple of tablets in key house locations, like one in the living room, one in the kitchen. That's like always listening to those Vox Commando commands. So I can be like, yo, turn on the lights and junk, and they'd be like, can do, boss, and then click, click, click.
Right on.
Right now, it's not tied together with one centralized system. Like I have to open different apps on my phone. Like if I want to fuck with the lights, I got to open my lighting app. If I want to do the heating and air, I got to open my heating and air app. But what we're working on while we're building more systems into the house is I'm writing kind of a controlling brain architecture that will send all those commands to the individual apps from one centralized thing.
Nice.
But in the meantime, now I just have like a folder on my phone's desktop with like 15 apps. It's like I want to change the lights, lighting app. I want to turn on the air conditioner app. But eventually, we're tying them all together into one system. soon, I think the next thing we're doing is I'm wanting to get house-wide music going.
Just
Mm.
just as a reminder for everybody, we will not be here next week.
Yes, I have
Not
a wedding,
here
and you're
next
going to be
week.
in Chicago,
I
right?
am going to be in Chicago.
Yeah, there's a lot of people meeting for that apparently, so I kind of wanted to go.
Is there? So
Like, hang
all I
it.
knew about was me and Neko and CD.
Well, that's enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
you should
Steve
come.
lives there. Maybe Steve
Yeah,
hangs out.
Steve probably. Steve, you should come hang out too. I know it's a long trip to Chicago for you, but
So far.
so far.
Yeah, where are you guys going?
I'm gonna be in Chicago next weekend.
Or I mean, like, where in Chicago? Like,
Oh,
what do you...
I have no idea. I have my plan for the weekend is to get drunk, write, and play video games.
Oh,
So I have no plans other than that.
yeah. Just I'll put my phone number in chat
Alright.
and send me a text.
Yeah, I
And
can do that.
If you're in downtown, I
If
can
I'm
make you free.
if I'm sober, I will.
Yeah.
No, it's
yeah,
even more
yeah,
Dude, you don't have to be sober to get on the train, man.
That's right. Oh, I know.
Wait, Saturday night, come Sunday morning to Starbucks, and I'll make you something.
Fuzz, keep that one, and just do it next time. But apparently next week is Fuzz's donation week,
Oh,
which he has been insanely generous already. And
yeah.
and we
I'm-
the giveaway that we're doing this week, the giveaway that we did 2 weeks ago, that is all because Fuzz is insanely generous and donated money to the stream. Because all that money, I try to put it back, or at least a good chunk of it, back into the stream as through giveaways or buying people books or what have you. So that is all coming from Fuzz, and everybody here insanely appreciates that a lot.
yeah, that's really cool. I am gonna confess something to you guys right now. By the way,
Uh-oh.
this is why it's taking me so long. Because at this level, I was able to learn one level 6 spell. So why have I been doing it for the last hour? Because before, like when I was level 10, I'd never actually learned any of my 5th level spells. I've just been casting
Yeah.
my 4th levels because I can
Yeah.
upscale my spells. So I've been casting some things as 5th level spells. And just ticking that off as my 5th level spell slot for the day. But I never actually picked any 5th level spells. So I'm trying to make time to do that now.
No worries. I don't
So
know where
I-
Cypher is at, but
I'm picking my 2 5th levels right now, and I've got some choices, man. Like I got dominate person as an option now, and that's
You're not people.
I'm not dominating
Oh, the
myself.
tournaments?
Damn it, man! Be a people.
Be a people.
Siren's already got a whip now, so
Oh.
he needs...
So Steve and Gingy, you guys will probably get. Actually, everybody will probably get a kick out of this, but it's mainly you two because you guys came up with the phrase. But Liam ran around the house the other day saying "Be a people."
Nice.
Be a people.
Nice.
Nice.
Dude.
Put that on a t-shirt.
That's
Right?
I think that should
It should just be a picture of a quokka. This is be a people, or big
That's
this is a
right.
big old chubby cheek face.
Well, I have to put money into the Gingy bail fund because he's one of the primary players. We can't have a game if Gingy's locked up somewhere for
Guys,
for
my
streaking
I-
or something.
I haven't been in jail in a long, long time. I've
Since
actually never
yesterday.
been in jail.
I haven't either.
I've been
Actually-
arrested once, but I was not actually pressed. I was cuffed in the back of a cop car until some eyewitnesses of the situation was like, yeah, when he kicked the shit out of that guy, it was because that guy was trying to beat up somebody else, and the cop let me go. But-
My parents made me a deal when I was growing up that they would bail me out of jail once, and so far I've not taken them up on that offer.
Oh, nice. Is that still in effect?
It is still in effect. I'm gonna make my kids that same thing. Like I will bail you out once. After that, nope, you're on your own.
It's pretty much my standing offer to anybody that I consider my close circle of friends. Like, I got 3 here in Alaska. And I go, I'll bail you out of jail. There's got to be a really good story for why you're in there. Because if your ass says I was drunk driving, I'm going to say sit there and rot. But if
Yeah.
it's a good story, I'll fucking bail you out. You pay me back. No problem doing that.
Oh yeah. If there's a definite immediate payback, I would bail anybody out. But I don't see the people. I try my best to limit my access to drama and unstable humans. So like, I don't think anybody in my friend circle is gonna be arrested anytime soon. Like I've only
never
even
had any friends arrested, so.
Damn. Well, now
I
you
had
have.
a friend in
now
high
you
school
have.
arrested once, and I had
Check
to
out
pawn some
that-
games to get him out, but that was like high school. But like, I mean, currently I've only ever been pulled over once, and I didn't even get the ticket because when the guy pulled me over, he said I was driving suspiciously, which I thought was curious, and he got me in my own neighborhood.
You
Like
know,
as soon as
you live in a small town when.
Right. Well, it's like I pulled off the main road into my neighborhood, and apparently he had been following me for a little bit, and I kind of noticed him. But as soon as I pulled from the main road into my cul-de-sac, he flashed his lights at me, and he said I was driving like I was trying to get away from him. And I was sort of thinking back, I'm like, I wasn't even speeding. What are you on? And so I was like, she's like, so where are you going? I'm like, I'm trying to get home. I'm like, I've been at work all day. And he's like, so you're trying to tell me you live in this neighborhood? I said, yes, sir. And he said like, what? He's like, you got any kind of record with us? And I was like, he's like, or I think he said like, if I run your name through, am I gonna find anything I'm not gonna like? And I said, I've never even gotten a ticket before. And he's like, all right, well if that's true, I'm gonna let you go. I was like, all right. So he took my license and looked at it and was like, yeah, this is your license has the street that we're currently on written on it. And so he ran me through, and he was like, "All right, get home." It's like I still don't even know what the fuck, because like, what does that mean? Like driving suspiciously?
He hadn't got
Like-
his quota on tickets.
Were you
I
sure
guess,
you were
right?
not you were not driving while being black?
Right, right.
Or
I
it
had
was the
to check.
standard. Your neighborhood is, well, I'm going to estimate and say it's working, doing well properties. There's not a lot of low-income housing on your street, cul-de-sac area, and somebody who lives there who's got the ear of somebody who's higher up in the police department went, "It's suspicious children playing their rock and rap and roll in my neighborhood late at night."
I mean, shit.
So
Like
they're-
I'm like the youngest person who owns a house in my neighborhood. It's all old people,
That's it.
and
the
I'm not
profile.
loud. I'm
The
not
fucking
loud either.
young
So
guy.
it's like,
It's
like
a young guy
I'm
in the neighborhood.
nice enough. Like my drums are in the basement, and I've got rubber drum silencers on them. So it's like
Fancy.
I'm cool. So like.
Apparently, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying there isn't a reason. Like I just don't get it. Like I don't know what that meant because I was like the whole time I was nervous. I'm like, am I gonna get a fucking ticket for something stupid? I was like kind of like playing back the last few miles in my head. I'm like, I wasn't speeding. I wasn't swerving. It's like, what the fuck was he? Why? He was just following me, and apparently I turned sharply into my neighborhood. So he was like, oh, he's trying to get away from me. Whoop whoop. I was like, no, I'm trying to go home, ass bag. He's like, yeah, if you don't have a record and you actually live in this neighborhood, I guess I'll let you go. I'm like, what is the other alternative? What are you going to book me with?
I'm gonna arrest you for driving in a neighborhood you live in. Yeah, that'll
Right,
hold up.
what the actual shit? But that's the closest I've ever gotten to even getting a ticket.
Apparently,
No,
Fuzz.
Keeping cool. I would have like flipped my shit.
You hear too many stories nowadays, especially about just like random, like, the cop got spooked, so he tased me.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
I was-
shot me.
I was yes sirring, no sirring pretty hard
Yeah.
at him.
Apparently, Fuzz, when he was 4, got upset because the cop wouldn't handcuff him.
When I
He
was
wouldn't arrest him.
much younger, when I was under 18, I had and I don't know why I was doing this. I was just being a shitty kid without thinking about my actions or consequences. I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old, and we had street parking at my parents' house, and when we lived in that house, and so I was sitting like on the sidewalk, basically leaning back with my back against like my mom's car. So from the street you couldn't see me. So the street's behind me. So I'm kind of sitting, my back's pressed up against my mom's car, and then on the other side of the car was the street. And I had this like a big old like Polar Pop, like a big old like 40-ounce gas station soda in my lap. And I just kept opening it and pulling an ice cube out every time I heard a car, and just chucking it over my shoulder and nailing the car with an ice cube. For no
Yeah.
reason. It's not even like I even got to watch it happen and laugh. I was just being a shitty kid and not thinking about my actions at all. And apparently one
Like
of
you
them was
do.
a cop car. So like a huge ice cube like over my shoulder. I heard it hit this cop like his windshield and then just brake slam. I felt myself pee. And, like, Immediately, cop turns walks around in front of my mom's car, and he's like, "Hey!" I was like, He basically like scruffs me like a puppy by the back of my shirt, walks me up. He's like, "Which house is yours?" Walked me up to the door and pretty much told my mom, "He's like, your shitty ass kids hitting cars with ice cubes."
Yeah, Wolf. One of our players got called away, so we're sitting here just kind of bullshitting, waiting on him to return. So I have no idea how long the break is going to be, unfortunately. But we will pick it back up as soon as he gets back, whenever that happens to be. I apologize that the break is running a little long, but we can't really progress the story while we miss a player. It doesn't really work that
I'm
way.
also working on. I'm trying to decide. There's so many good spells at this level. I'm trying to decide on what.
You only get one.
Well, I got 3, and I've already picked 2. So now like figuring out what's left is a trick. Like Hold Monster can be really good, especially if it's flying or in water, because I can fucking drown it. But it's like, there's so many good choices. Like I'm having a hard time.
I know they changed the level of some of the spells in this, but a 5th or 6th level you should get like actual real teleport.
I actually at this level could get teleportation circle.
Yeah,
And that would be real beneficial. But I already have the gate, and I have and I've got my bailout, so it's like I can already teleport some things. So it feels like I don't want like a third form of teleportation.
But do you have planar binding?
I don't, but that's one of the ones I'm currently contemplating.
Okay, so I don't have gate, but I have planar binding. And like as a druid, I don't like pick the spells I know, because I just like choose from the entire list every day.
Yeah.
So we could totally combo that. If you're like, I'm gonna summon a thing, and then I'll be like, do a sexy dance, and now it's our buddy.
Do a sexy dance.
I'm
That's
sure
how you solve everything. Is you just, you know what? Just do a sexy dance.
That's what the spell says.
You know what?
What is that bear doing over there? He's doing a sexy dance.
It's trying to seduce that Balrog.
I always just try to think of like what spells could be the most useful in the most scenarios. I think less about damage and more about RP. Because I've got some damage dealing spells, and those can be leveled up. I can hurt things when I need to hurt things. So it's like getting us out of situations is more of a priority. So I'm like, doing legend lore could be severely beneficial.
Wolf, to answer your question in regards to the YouTube videos, we do have some of our older sessions on YouTube. They are not from the start. I don't think we started actually posting them on YouTube until our 5th or 6th episode. And I have been terribly slacking about posting episodes on YouTube, so it's not up to date either. But since we are starting a new adventure at this point, I will probably start posting them again on YouTube. So the answer to your question is kind of.
Oh, God damn it. This is so... Mislead could be used in so many creative, fun ways. Like, you become invisible at the same time an illusionary double of yourself appears where you're standing. The double lasts for the duration of the spell, and the invisibility ends until if you attack. You can use your action to move your illusionary double up to twice your speed, or make it gesture, speak, and behave in whatever way you choose. So I'm basically making a fucking decoy. Like, that could be so beneficial. It can last up to a damn hour.
I get an interesting spell called Wind Walk. That like I can make myself and 10 other people fly.
Nice.
For yeah, so it's I've got some good travel spells.
Hey, Kazatel, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that. You guys should hit the follow on the Dungeons and Distractions channel as well. Myself and Raven Laughs also stream our personal gameplay on a fairly regular basis as well. So if you guys want some new people to follow,
I can hit those modify buttons. Memory and incept people. Like, there's so many good ones at this level. Like, I'm having a really hard time.
There it is. Yeah, 8 hours. So I can make us move.
All right, Wolf. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you Wolf, if you want to get in on a copy of a chance to get a copy of the Player's Handbook, we will do that at the end of the stream tonight. You don't have to be here to win it. I'll send you a message through Twitch if you do actually win it, and get that arranged for you. So you guys that are watching, if you can't make it to the end of the stream but still want to get down on that raffle, go ahead and enter, and I will be happy to send you a message once we do the drawing if you're not around.
Oh yeah, so I got a spell just now where I can make us all like have a gaseous form so we can't like get hit by stuff, and have a flying speed of 300 feet for like 8 hours.
Jesus.
So
That's
If we're
hauling ass.
I used that a lot when I was a cleric. Yeah. That was
yeah, it's
I
Good
could raise
times.
dead. I could raise dead now. That could
Can
be-
you? That is
Yeah.
good to know. I mean, what?
I mean, I haven't picked it yet. I'm just saying. There's no emotional attachments here. If one of you guys die, I will puppeteer your body. But
Rico, you're already in the drawing.
How's it going, buddy?
there's so many good non-combat just magey RP move the story forward kind of spells I could choose from this time around, and I'm having a really
Yeah.
difficult time.
Wolf, if you want to get down on the raffle, type exclamation point PHB. and
PHB.
That'll get you into
should-
the raffle.
Maybe you should make the command something that doesn't sound like a bunch of other letters, or speak phonetically.
Blame Wizards and Anna. Anna.
I'm bored.
No, it's fine. I am taking you out of the raffle now.
She probably doesn't have a book yet.
She doesn't. She is on my list. So
Uh-oh.
It's a
Is
dice
it
book.
A good list or a bad?
it's a good list. It is the list of people that we still need to get players' handbooks for. I did. I finally got around to
really
actually
nice
getting the
book.
DMG this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't even gone through those spells yet. I reserve the right to change my spells between games if I get that book.
If the capability exists out there, Jason, is there any chance I can get a resend in the Skype chat of the link to the digital PHP?
For the PHP. I will have
Yeah.
to find that. I don't have it right off the top of my
Or
head.
if somebody else has it.
Hold on.
I'm hoping for the best, but I'm
Hey.
planning for the worst. Like this
Who's
old
that?
tower is fucked.
Wolf,
that I won't be able-
thank you for that follow. Everybody here appreciates that a lot. And
We
that
like
is super
follows.
awesome. Thank you for that follow.
Is that good? Is that
Thank
what you need?
you.
You're welcome.
Yes, that is exactly right.
Guys, once again, I apologize for the length of this break. We normally try to limit this to
Not our
like
fault.
5 or 10
I know how
minutes.
exactly to bring them back. If I order Chinese food on my phone right now, right the second I start the call, Cypher will come back in going, "Sorry guys, what happened was this." And I'll be like,
It's just like ordering, or it's like when you're at a restaurant and you're like, oh, I want my food to get there. If you go to the bathroom, it'll come.
"Oh, it shows up." and then they
Gingy.
take it back.
You bastard.
Oh, into the drawing.
Yes. Fucker.
I'm about to leave it up to chat to I've got my spells narrowed down.
Hey, go for it.
See if chat can help me narrow things down with this
What do you-
while
what
we're
do you
waiting.
think?
Tell me
Yeah,
what you
like-
got.
Okay. Here's kind of my main thoughts, right? I could do dream, which would let me fucking incept people. I could alter their dreams and plant thoughts and ideas into them. That seems widely
Just thoughts and
beneficial.
ideas? Okay.
Like yeah, but that seems like something to someone who's basically playing a face, who's trying to influence people, and especially as my role in the government, that seems widely beneficial. And mislead seems great. I could basically create an illusionary double of myself where I'll go invisible at the same time it's summoned and replaces me. I can see through its eyes and hear through its ears, and it's basically like a misty, untouchable me that I could pilot around. It's a damn surrogate. That could be used for just a ton of things. And that's sustainable for up to an hour.
Fuzz,
Raise
let's
dead.
hang on real quick, Gingy. Sorry, Fuzz. Let's keep that out of chat just for I don't want Twitch getting word that that's going around. Wolf, yeah, no, if it's 4 a.m., go the fuck to sleep. Why are you here? We appreciate you watching, but goddammit, go get sleep. Rico, as far as elemental evil spells, yes, we are including those in the campaign. I think that
one thing
addresses
though, like
all the
if you link one of the PDF files that Wizards releases for free, then
Yeah,
I don't
that's
see that
fine.
being an issue.
No, yeah, that's absolutely fine. But
The player's addendum thing.
yeah,
Right,
if you have some
right.
nefariously gotten PDFs, don't link those in chat.
Yeah, private message those.
Yeah.
But the but like the one we were talking about, like the ones we were talking about circulating internally was the new one Wizards put out, which they did. They released a PDF for players for free. They're wanting the DMs to buy the book, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so like that kind of stuff. Like if pretend one of the members of our group works for Wizards of the Coast. If they wouldn't be pissed, then share it.
Yeah.
But
If it's
because
the stuff-
I'd hate for our stream to get shut down for something silly.
If you guys are interested in 5th edition, Wizards did release a lot of the basic rules, I think, for free on
did?
their site. And you can go grab that PDF and go tear through it and look through it. And then, if you decide, hey, you want a physical copy of it, then we're doing that giveaway tonight. So there's that.
All right. Well, I think I've got things narrowed down to I want to do Mislead, which will give me an illusionary double of myself. Raise Dead, which for obvious reasons. I'm not really big on minions, but I can see its benefit.
Rico suggests Mass Suggestion.
Mass Suggestion was on my list too.
Is a pretty
But that's 6th level. Like right now, I'm kicking around 5th level spells.
Oh, right on.
Though Mass Suggestion is that might actually be what I picked for my 6th level. Let me check because I either did that or eye biting.
Eye biting, like you walk up to
Eye
people
bite.
and bite their eyes.
It's called eye
That
bite.
one's really cool.
Yeah, eye bite. I actually did pick Mass Suggestion as my 6th level spell because that's
there you go.
that's usable as all get out. But eye bite, basically your eyes will turn into like a milky black void, and you just have the power of suggestion to people, and you can put them to sleep, like Dark City style.
I like the idea that you actually bite their eyes more.
I do too, and that's what made me like. I was like, well, it's called eye bite. I've got to look up whatever the hell that spell is. But reading it sounded like Dark City, and that made me happy. Where I could just walk up to somebody and be like,
So
"Sleep
you're-
now."
You're still trying to figure out a 5th level spell, or you're trying
I'm
to
trying to
figure
figure
out a
out.
6th level spell?
You can do
I've
different
picked.
things with iBite. You can do the sleep. You can make them sick,
Yeah.
or you can make them like.
It's like a direct like vampire style like look
Yeah.
into my eyes and
So
you're under my spell.
You're looking for a 5th level spell then.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm
right
just saying,
now
I'm just gonna throw this
I'm
out there. Let's throw this out there. As many times as you
No,
have used Mage
I'm not
Hand,
curing.
no,
I'm
no.
just saying.
As many times as you have used Mage Hand, think of what you could do with telekinesis.
Is telekinesis 5th ed? Or
Yeah.
sorry,
Fifth
5th level.
You can grapple
that's
ghosts.
not on my list actually.
It's another
That's what I-
sorcerer spell.
That's
Hey,
what I
grab-
would suggest for you.
Well, where is that? Because I don't see that on 5th level spells. Where's telekinesis?
Okay, ready? Here's your easiest way to do it. Go to
Yeah.
page 209, because that's the bullet summary of sorcerer spells. Well, it's not Ranger's answer.
209 for me has okay, well fuck. No, you're right. I was
The PDF, if you type in the page number, it doesn't take you to the right page.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it
and
takes
I
you
was
to
on the
where it
wrong page.
thinks.
Yeah.
Yep. Page 209 from the actual page numbers has the bullet summary of the spells.
Yeah.
But telekinesis seems to me, because it's like you're not limited by weight anymore, so you could
You're right.
you could really cause some chaos the way you like to with your Mage Hand spell.
That's an excellent point.
I've been around you long enough. You're rubbing off.
Who's
Can you
rubbing
switch
what?
out your spells?
No, you're right. That does narrow things down quite a bit. I was looking at because I had pulled up 209 and it pulled up the wrong page. I was looking at the wrong class of spells. Luckily, though, Mass Suggestion is still available, so I don't have to change what I picked for 6. But my 5th level, I have a new set of things to pick from.
That's why I was partially
a lot of
confused when you talked
overlap.
About, when you
Yeah,
said
that-
Raise Dead, I went, no.
Right? Yeah, you're totally right. And that's why I couldn't see telekinesis because I was on the wrong 209 basically.
And then, another one that I would suggest for 5th level for you, if you're going with the Dr. V, the Toyer of Minds.
I've already picked one.
Telekinesis would be my vote.
And that makes a lot of sense, and that's definitely usable. Hold monster would be usable. I've already picked animate objects because that seems oh man. Because I just imagined how would my last fight go if I had this spell? I would have totally tried to distract that dragon by making 20 of its gold coins dance around and be like doop 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 doop. And the so yeah, animate objects for sure. Cloud kill just for combat is pretty much a good time. Yeah, but no, you're definitely right. Telekinesis would have loads of use.
It screams out, Doctor.
It really it does, like the way I think, as far as.
I have the power to kill a yak from 30 yards away.
That's telekinesis.
Motherfucking mind bullets. What does creation do with a name that vague? That sounds powerful.
Just exactly as described.
But what can I create?
Vegetable matter, mineral matter, stuff.
Yeah. You can
nothing living and sentient. It sounds like.
Yeah, so I can just will certain objects into existence.
Yeah, and well, the way that it used to be is you'd be if you were a weaponsmith, you could make more and more detailed weapons. So you'd make a crafting roll.
Alright.
Or if there was.
I'm not really a crafter though.
Non-living object or vegetable matter within range. So you can make things like vegetable matter, stone, precious metals, gems, adamantium, and they have durations. So if you made something adamantium, it's only gonna last a minute. But if you made something out of rock, it would last 12 hours.
So I could basically make a ruby the size of a child's skull and be like, here, I'm going to purchase that thing for you for this giant ruby, and then run before it dematerializes.
Yeah,
exactly.
The only stipulation
Peace out,
on
motherfuckers.
It can't be it can be no larger than a 5-foot cube. So yeah, you could make a giant gem. You could be like, here's a giant gem. And, it's not going to disappear for an hour.
I think you're right. You bring excellent points. I think telekinesis is something that I could benefit from greatly. So yeah, I think you probably got me there.
Right on. Cypher is back.
Welcome back,
Cypher. Good. Everything.
You
everything's
know what? You know what got Cypher to come back? My dinner's ready.
That's
yeah,
it.
well, my wife just got home from work, so I'm sure her and I are gonna make something to eat before too long. But I try not to let that interfere.
Yeah, I'm.
And the weekly question is.
Oh, I made jambalaya.
The crockpot.
I made jambalaya.
Oh yes.
Jambalaya.
Now I'm gonna say the guy's name, Kazatel or Kazatl. It is. We scatter like fucking dodo birds in the wind, and poor Gianinthius is always like, God damn it! Okay, you guys are over there. You're over there. You assholes over there.
Well, last week was ridiculous. I usually don't mind it, except last week you guys were spread across literally the entire dungeon.
I would like to point out. I'd like to point out that I was right where everybody else was supposed to be. I hadn't left. I stayed. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm gonna mute my mic since before we get back into playing. There's no point since I'm eating. I'm just gonna mute my mic real quick. Give it 2 or 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
I am going with what you said, and I am going to do animate objects and telekinesis.
That's not a bad selection, actually.
No, I think that's what we've been talking about in your absence. I was trying to pick my spells, and yeah, that seems to be because I've got some heavy hitting damage spells, and I've got some damage spells that I can even cast as a 6th level and do even more damage. It's I don't really need more damage dealing at the moment. What I need is more things to help us get out of sticky situations, and I think telekinesis and animate objects could assist with that.
Telekinesis is a great spell. The problem is that, well, maybe not for you, being that you're a sorcerer, so that you have more spell slots.
Yeah.
But it's for me, it's one of my highest level spells, and I can only use it twice. No, I can use it 3 times now. Or once, you know what I'm saying. So it's it's a great use spell, but it's a one shot until something else comes along kind of thing. So the reason why I had to be wandered off was the situation is my nephew, who lives with my brother in Sacramento, meth.
Oh,
And
shit,
so
dude.
yeah, so and he's the this kid has already got a bunch of problems. He's autistic. He's got a couple other things going on, and he's 18 years old, and he's doing that stupid teenager thing where he thinks he knows more than his parents do.
Of course.
And so my brother is trying to. My brother, who is the only like, he's working a job and paying bills, and that's all he can do because that's all he's got time to do is work to pay the bills because, he's supporting everybody. So this kid is going out and he's getting mixed up with the wrong people. So my mom steps in, brings him down here to the Bay Area, and she's putting him up in her place. Now I was under the impression that he was just going to be sticking around for a week or two. She's got him going to Narcotics Anonymous meetings and stuff, and basically trying to do the right thing. I just found out that he's basically moved in. It wasn't his choice. It was like my mom was just like, the way she explained it to me, I was under the impression that he was just here for a little while, but then she's like, no, he's kind of like staying here now. The problem being is that's creating drama between her and her husband.
Oh, dang.
So that was what I was over there having that conversation with her because she's not sure what to do, and I basically said, look, the kid's 18 years old, and he needs to learn. So worst case scenario, he gets kicked out, and then he deals with it. End of story. And my mom's like, because everybody in my family's had really fucked up lives, like bad fucked up lives. She's of the mindset that she's trying to do something to prevent yet another person in our family from having something bad happen to them. But as I told her, I said, look, Mom, as you've had a bad life, I've had a bad life, Chuck has had a bad life, your brother, your family. But at the end of the day, those bad experiences made us who we are and helped us become stronger people. And this may just be yet another situation where this kid needs to find out that there is no safety net. He's gonna have to act like an adult, or he's gonna shrivel up and die. And this might be what he needs, the boot in the ass, to help him get his life straight. And if it doesn't, there was nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, she can't blame herself.
Yeah. So that was the reason why I was gone for so long, was because I was just having that conversation with her.
Oh, that's legit. That's an important reason to stop playing a game with your friends to go help out your family. Like, that's legit. I don't think anybody's going to be bummed about that.
If you have your mom look, there might be some help from the local area government and stuff.
He's already getting a bunch of support from the government because of the fact that he's got autism and a couple other things. So he does have SSI and all that stuff. But that's still not going to, it's not enough to get him an apartment and help him. And even if he did have it, he's such a stupid little kid, even though he's 18, that he probably wouldn't take care of his bills.
Yeah, he sounds like he's still getting that mindset. I think getting him off meth would be one of the important things, first steps, and then try to get his head out of his ass.
Yeah, well, they caught him early. They caught him early with the meth thing, so it's not like he's scratching bugs underneath his skin and his teeth are falling out, but he's still. And the group of people that he was hanging out with that got him involved in it, can you guess which social clique it was?
Juggalos?
Yes.
Really? All right, I win.
Yeah. ICP fans. Yeah. And I told him, because I had a conversation with him when he first showed up, because I was basically trying to play the bad cop. So I was trying to make I was saying the things that nobody else would say to him because he's young. Things like, you're going to be homeless and fucked, kid. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I said, look, if you're going to get involved,
need to be told that.
Exactly. He said, I said, look, you're telling him. So from what I understand, you're part of the whole Juggalo thing. I said, I know about Juggalos. I know what they're supposed to be about. I know that they talk about, family and support and pride and love. How can you tell me that these people that you're interacting with have pride and love for you if they're getting you hooked on meth? And he just sort of looked at me. So.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah. So now that's what's going on. So my mom's just sort of bummed, and her husband's having a bunch of. Yeah.
Meth is
All right.
nasty.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am done eating. I scarfed my dinner down. So,
Good lord.
Jesus, fucking Christ, dude.
dude, I had a whole full bowl. I cook good shit. I can't. I make no excuses.
I've got
Jason-
this
Jason
image of
eats-
Impious with a feed bag on his face. Right now.
He does. He actually just eats like a shark. He just takes a giant bite and throws it back in his throat.
Like, I know after the military, I never learned to slow down and eat. Because you have, like, literally, you have 5 minutes to eat lunch, and whatever you can eat in that 5 minutes is what you're getting for the next 8 hours.
Dude,
They
my
train
wife is
you to
like
do that in school.
My wife had 2 older brothers, and so it was like, if you wanted more food than was what was on your plate for the first time, it was just like, you're fucked.
Yeah,
So
you inhale
eats
it
way fast.
Yeah. But that being said, let's see if we can actually get some gameplay today.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I've got my spells locked in, so
Good deal.
yeah.
All right, so you guys are at Waterdeep. You've moored the ship. You've been approached by Remy, and she's kind of, come up to you guys and said, I'm glad that you were able to make it